President Hassan Rouhani has been cited saying that Israel, quote, has been a wound on the body of the Islamic world for years and should be removed. Following such statements, Israel's prime minister responded fiercely in return.
The first quotation made by three Iranian news agencies cited the president as saying that Zionism or the Zionist regime is a sore wound in the body of the Islamic nation and has to be removed. Iran officially denied the statements. Later, they spoke of Israel as a sore wound, which Muslims have the right to resist. My guess is that they understood the harm that could be caused to Iran by such blatant statements, especially when President Rouhani is trying to mend fences with the West in order to remove the sanctions from Iran, and therefore they opted for the more subtle definition.
For Prime Minister Netanyahu, was it the right move to respond immediately?
It was correct for Prime Minister Netanyahu to respond to the first statement, and indeed to highlight the fact that Iran has not changed its policy even under a new president. However, once the Iranians retracted and Netanyahu persisted in his accusation, he may have undermined the Israeli case because supposedly he missed, let's say, the Iranian attempt to take a less vicious face. And maybe this could imply a certain, again, change in tactic in Iran. It may have been too rushed to blame Iran the second time.
Do you foresee a better tomorrow when it comes to Iran?
First of all, we have to remember that the president in Iran does not determine policy. The policy in Iran is determined by the supreme leader. The president can try to influence policy, he can try to influence the supreme leader. Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei, has always persistently called for the elimination of Israel. And as long as he has not changed his tone and has not changed his policies, what we may see now is, again, is different in music, but not necessarily in content. And I'm not optimistic that Iran will change its policy toward Israel. Iran may change its tactic or its approach to the US. Iran may feel the need to reach a compromise on the nuclear issue because of the sanctions. And if it's a real compromise, if it's a compromise that would slow down or prevent Iran from achieving nuclear capability, then it would be a major improvement. If the change would only be in rhetoric and not in actions, then we have not achieved much.
Netanyahu was quoted saying that Rouhani's true face has been revealed earlier than expected. But Israeli experts say it is too soon to tell the direction in which the Iranian leadership is headed. For JN1, I'm Sivan Raviv, Israel.